Hello, welcome to Green Gables. This is the house that I think my understanding is that this house was an inspiration for Lucy Maud Montgomery herself in writing Green Gables as like the location of where things happen, where Anne of Green Gables is set, and so then initially I think it didn't have the green trimming though, or the gables, which I think are maybe on the other side of the house. I don't know a lot about architecture, um, but this was like thought to have been an inspiration, and then became more like the house in the book because of that, and became like a guest house, and eventually they filmed some of the adaptations here, and I'm very excited to see it. I think I did see it when I was a kid, but I haven't been back in a lot of years. And we listened to part of Anne of Green Gables, the audiobook, on our drive up here. And I didn't have any physical copies with me, so but my friend Brenton Dickinson, who is a Lucy Maud Montgomery scholar, was like showing us around and stuff, and being very hospitable, him and his family. And so I mentioned that I wanted to maybe do a reading video here, and so he actually just gave me all three of these so that I could do that. So I may link to some of his stuff. I just wanted to read just a little bit from Anne of Green Gables, like when we initially have the house described. Um, there's a first well first all the first three chapters, someone is surprised in each of them. Mrs. Rachel Lynde is surprised, and then Matthew Cuthbert is surprised. Oh, no, wait. Yes, then Matthew Cuthbert is surprised, and then Marilla is surprised. Um, but anyway, from the first chapter where Mrs. Rachel Lynde is surprised, she ends up coming over to Green Gables, and this is a description. I think mostly, well, at least as she comes to the house. Green Gables was built at the furthest edge of his cleared land, and there it was to this day, barely visible from the main road along which all the other Avonlea houses were so sociably situated. Mrs. Rachel Lynde did not call living in such a place living at all. "It's just staying, that's what," she said as she stepped along the deep-rutted grassy lane bordered with wild rose bushes. "It's no wonder Matthew and Marilla are both a little odd, living away back here by themselves. Trees aren't much company, though dear knows if they were, there'd be enough of them. I'd rather look at people. To be sure, they seem contented enough, but then I suppose they're used to it. A body can get used to anything, even being hanged, as the Irishman said." With this, Mrs. Rachel stepped out of the lane into the backyard of Green Gables. Very green and neat and precise was that yard, set about on one side with great patriarchal willows, and on the other with prim Lombardies. Not a stray stick nor stone was to be seen, for Mrs. Rachel would have seen it if there had been. Privately, she was of the opinion that Marilla Cuthbert swept that yard over as often as she swept her house. One could have eaten a meal off the ground without overbrimming the proverbial peck of dirt. And then a little later, I think in the next chapter, is where Anne herself first sees Green Gables. She's been picked up at the train station. When they had driven up the further hill around the corner, Matthew said, "We're pretty near home now. That's Green Gables over—" "Oh, don't tell me," she interrupted breathlessly, catching at his partially raised arm and shutting her eyes that she might not see his gesture. "Let me guess. I'm sure I'll guess right." She opened her eyes and looked about her. They were on the crest of a hill. The sun had set sometime since, but the landscape was still clear in the mellow afterlight. To the west, a dark church spire rose up against a marigold sky. Below was a little valley, and beyond a long, gently rising slope with snug farmsteads scattered along it. From one to another the child's eyes darted, eager and wistful. At last they lingered on one away to the left, far back from the road, dimly white with blossomy trees in the twilight of the surrounding woods. Over it, the stainless southwest sky, a great crystal white star, was shining like a lamp of guidance and promise. "That's it, isn't it?" she said, pointing. Matthew slapped the reins on the sorrel's back delightedly. "Well, now you've guessed it. but I reckon Mrs. Spencer described it so as you could tell. No, she didn't. Really, she didn't. All she said might just as well have been about most of those other places. I hadn't any real idea what it looked like. But just as soon as I saw it, I felt it was home. Oh, it seems as if I must be in a dream. Do you know my arm must be black and blue from the elbow up, for I've pinched myself so many times today. Every little while a horrible sickening feeling would come over me, and I'd be so afraid it was all a dream. Then I'd pinch myself to see if it was real, until suddenly I remembered that even supposing it was only a dream, I'd better go on dreaming as long as I could, so I stopped pinching. But it is real, and we're nearly home. I love that. I feel like Anne Shirley arriving at Green Gables is one of the great momentous occasions of literature, and getting to stay there is one of the great, almost like eucatastrophe, I would call it. And so it's such a joy to be here, to be like on the land where this story was born, and to be in the community of people who care about the story too. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you and show that to you. I hope you have a great day. Bye!